It's a well-known fact that the United States has the highest rate of incarceration in the world, with over 2 million people behind bars. Now, those inmates are aging at an alarming rate. Conditions in prison, as well as unhealthy lifestyles prior to incarceration, like poor diet and substance abuse, cause inmates to age faster. At just 50, they're considered elderly. Many prisons were not designed for the elderly or people with physical disabilities, and now they're having to adapt. Experts say that by 2030, 1/3 of prisoners will be elderly. Here in Carlisle, Indiana, at the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility, the younger inmates are being trained to care for the elderly as part of the Porter program.
Mainly our responsibility is to make sure that they get to and from where they need to go, and just providing companionship is the main portion of it. A lot of these guys, they got the medical issues that they have, and a lot of them don't have family support, a lot of them don't have a lot of support at all.
Inmate David Farrell is paid by Wabash to work as a porter. He shares a cell with another inmate whose health is declining. He fetches his medications, cleans the cell, and helps him with physical therapy.
If it's 3 in the morning, he wakes up, he can't sleep, he's frustrated, hit the bunk, tell me, hey, can you get down here? And you don't like being woke up in the middle of the night, but I mean, when you step in to do this, it's no longer, it's not a job that they ask you to do, it becomes a responsibility.
His work is helping offset costs for Wabash. The U.S. currently spends more than $16 billion annually caring for these aging inmates. Research shows that the complex health issues that accompany aging means that older inmates wind up costing the system nearly $70,000 a year. That's more than double the cost to care for younger inmates. And it's those with cognitive diseases like Alzheimer's that wind up costing the system even more. At Wabash, inmates who've become too ill for the general prison population are transferred here to the infirmary. Younger inmates volunteer as aides, where they help these elderly inmates complete everyday activities, like bathing or getting a clean shave. It's something you might not expect from a man convicted of murder.
We've had a couple of guys pass away back there. One guy who had dementia, he was locked up since the 60s, and he come down here from Michigan City, and he depended on me every day, and I come to love him, and you develop those kind of relationships. It's hard to do in prison, and you see that they really need you.
Because Bradley spends so much time in the infirmary, the prison's medical staff can go to him with questions about each patient. He's especially skilled at helping one inmate with severe Alzheimer's, who can become violent and uncooperative. Bradley works with him every day, but that doesn't mean the man remembers his name.
All right. You're free. There's just so many things that a guy like that is incapable of doing for himself. Just all the things of daily life, getting up and taking care of. I've seen that guy put on clothes, like trying to put a t-shirt on over his jumpsuit, or trying to go take a shower in his clothes, things like that. He just needs somebody to guide him in the right direction.
The one thing that we're anticipating is the aging population in prisons. And we're seeing, since really the war on drugs has occurred, we're seeing probably longer and stiffer prison sentences, so people are in prison a lot longer. And a lot of states are seeing their population really age in place.
Like many prisons across the country, Wabash is looking 10 years ahead. They need to adapt their existing facility to house an increase in elderly inmates as well as inmates with Alzheimer's. And so far, the Porter program has proved successful.
Now, this thus far is providing the care they need in a very cost-effective way, and it's providing purpose for those porters. So yes, it does save taxpayer dollars by not having to hire somebody to come in and do that. And we've got somebody that's willing to do it, that's good at it, and they're very happy to be in that position.
Wabash has contracted out their medical services to a private company. They say that having porters saves them and the taxpayer money because they don't have to hire additional workers. Other states have gone as far as building nursing homes for inmates, but those are incredibly expensive. One facility in California cost $900 million. And like all of this, it's shouldered by the taxpayers. But the Porter program at Wabash is doing more than just offsetting costs. It's giving inmates a glimpse into their own future.
I've spent almost my whole life incarcerated because I can't do the right thing. So I've grown up in here and I've seen a lot of people grow older and older and older in here. And you see the deterioration, you see the mental deterioration, the physical deterioration. It puts a realization in you, that maybe this isn't where you want to grow old at.
Side Effects Public Media is a reporting collaborative led by WFYI in Indianapolis. Our partnership includes KBIA in Columbia, Missouri, St. Louis Public Radio, Illinois Public Media, WOSU in Columbus, Ohio, and WNIN in Evansville, Indiana.